let's go to the beginning of Pacifica. We have Pacifica here, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. Argentinian rock superstars. Blowing the fuck up. I'm kind of the drummer for now, so not a big deal.
Yeah. Rockstar moment over here.
But that's when the dream comes
Paul
true for
Brisk
me.
over here, Christine.
Yeah.
But okay, people always ask me like how the band started, and I think I know the story, so I tell them some version of it. But what's the actual story?
How
We've
the
been
band
telling
started.
this a lot, but it's I had a Strokes fan account. Ines did a lot of Strokes covers on YouTube. I put like a question sticker in my Strokes account because we followed each other, and a follower was like, "You should meet each other because I see that you follow each other," and so we met and we did like a cover of 1251 by the Strokes, and it kind of blew up on YouTube, and like people were like, "Oh, these two best friends in the balcony," and we were like, "Actually, we just met," and then it was like during COVID, like the Delta variation, whatever, so I locked in my house because I'm diabetic and I didn't want to go out, so we didn't see each other for a year. Wow. But at the end of the year, there was a Strokes show in New York in New Year's Eve, which is a lot because it's in New York in New Year's Eve. So you have to go on a trip for New Year's.
Right.
And it's in New York. But I really wanted to go, and I was like, "Do you want to come with me?" And I had seen her once in my life, but I had no friends.
So I said no.
Yeah.
Because
but
this
I'm very
girl,
pushy.
this 17-year-old girl that I don't really know that much.
She was 22 at the time.
I was 22. I was like, I'm over it.
You're
You're
a
can't hang out with
adult.
teenagers. I'm a full-grown adult. No, but we had met up and had a good time, and we did this video, and it was because I've been a fan of YouTubers for so long. I know how cool it is when like two people from different places of the internet hang out. It's like, oh my god, the crossover. So I knew that was cool, and I liked it, and people liked what we did. So yeah, I thought you were cool.
So you did it. You did it for the fans. For
Did
the
it
people.
did it for the people.
She
That's
did
good.
it for the Vine.
So I said no, also because I had a new job and I couldn't take the days off, and I was like, how we're gonna pay for it? It was a hard no.
Yeah, I was like, "We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out." And she was like, "No, that makes no sense. Why would we go to New York in New Year's Eve? Like, how would we get the money? And I was like, "We can make it happen." She was like, "Well, maybe if you get tickets or something, like if somebody gives you randomly tickets." And I was like, "Okay, so it's not happening." And then 2 days later, this guy, Parkside Patrick, that's his Instagram handle. He's like, because I had posted, "I will sell my soul to anyone who will give me a place to stay in New York so I can see the Strokes." Because that was the most expensive part, just the staying there for like a week. So right. And so he's like, I'm from Philly, so I can't like offer you anything to stay, but I'll give you 2 tickets. You can bring this other girl. And I'm like, remember when you said that thing?
And
That's
it actually
incredible.
really worked out because my cousin used to live there in New York City at the time, and he was not gonna be in his apartment for a month, and so it really worked out because we got to stay there, which really saved us a lot of money.
Yeah, and so we had like the stay, we had the tickets, all we needed was the flights, and we were like, I just thought, I don't know what the fuck I thought about it. I was like, let's make it buy me a coffee.
What's a
Like
buy me
it's like
coffee?
a GoFundMe.
Oh, okay.
But in forms of coffee. That's
So
what
we were
people-
like, people from the internet, take us to New York, and people were like, we
Whoa,
need to
we need to
get
take
these
them
girls
to
to New
New
York.
Wow.
They need to see the Strokes. They
Yeah.
just have to.
Yeah.
And
This
so,
would be your first time seeing the Strokes too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for her.
No,
for me.
I had
for
seen
you.
them before.
Okay.
That's why it was so crazy too. But people were like, we need to get these girls to New York City. Like, it's just so iconic. And people were very excited about
Yeah.
that. And they were super nice and helped us get there.
We actually like
Raise all the money.
we raised all the money for the tickets. It was like
Wow.
I don't know why.
how
Like
that
it's
came
crazy
together.
how I didn't even think about it at the time, but it is pretty crazy. Like I was just like,
so crazy.
let's just try it. And so we posted a story playing like a Stroke song, and we're like, we want to go see the Strokes. Help us. And they're like, people helped us. And I remember like I was going to school at the time. I was studying bio, and we would meet up to rehearse in the afternoons because we were planning like a show, our first show. And I would go to school, and in the subway I would check, and it would be like, somebody bought you 3 beers, 3 coffees, and like somebody bought you like 100 coffees. And I was like, oh, we're closer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still meet people today who are like, I donated to that coffee thing?
People never say that, but people do still donate. We just
They
have
still don't.
we
It's
just have
still
the link
active.
there, and sometimes
We don't
people
promote
go
it,
in,
but
yeah.
it's there. Yeah.
If anyone
And so
wants to-
after that,
Yeah, buy a coffee, buy a beer.
yeah, no, it's fine. But so we went to New York because everything worked out. I had to quit my job. Actually, I was like, this is just too good. The story is good. I need to go have this experience because if not, like, I have to do it. And my dad was like, yeah, you have to do it. So cool. So we do it and we go. And my cousin used to be in this band called Real People, Not Actors.
Okay.
And so he had played a few shows in New York and he knew some people. So he got us a gig because we were like, oh, we're going to go to New York City. We might as well play in New York City.
And so
Wow.
our second show ever, which we now maybe call it not a show. It wasn't a show. Our second gig was at the Bitter End in New York, and we ended up playing 3 shows there because we ended up staying instead for 2 weeks for like a month because there was a snowstorm, so they canceled our flights, and then we got COVID. So it
How
just
lucky.
it was a week and a month
Honestly.
that we spent in New York, and that really like bonded us. It was like a lot.
And you're just doing covers, these shows.
We were just doing covers, and at one point we're like, maybe we should write it because we had played a show in Argentina.
Okay.
We had opened for an Arctic Monkeys cover band,
Sick.
and we had chosen the name Pacifica. They were called
Monopolio.
Monopolio, which is like a wordplay with mono, monkey, monopolio, right?
Okay.
And so we had chosen the name Pacifica. We didn't want it to be like Los Trazos or like anything that would be related to the Strokes.
Sí.
We just, for some reason, we didn't want to be a Strokes cover band. We wanted to be
Yeah.
a band.
Right.
And so when the singer for this band introduces us, like, oh, thank you to the Strokes girls for like opening for us. And we got so offended that we ended up playing one more song that wasn't the Strokes just to prove him wrong that we were not the Strokes girls. We didn't like being the Strokes girls. And so that's when we said maybe we should write some originals. And we wrote 2 originals. And they were pretty bad, but we played them at the shows. We would
They
play
never
like,
made the album. I've never heard of them.
one of them is in the album. It's Misled. That's the
But
second
it's like
song.
a new version.
Yeah.
Okay.
We worked on it
It's a
a
great
lot.
song. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one was really bad, and
Which is
We're
fine.
not gonna
It's
talk
fine.
about
It was
it.
the first song. Yeah.
This is what I always tell people. They're like, "Oh, I want to write music," but like, it's like make a bad song.
Yeah.
Start there.
You need to
Start
make
making bad
a
songs.
lot of bad songs.
Yeah.
Songs don't need to be good.
Yeah, they don't.
Who said
Yeah.
that?
And like maybe your 20th song is like kind of good, and then your like 30th. I mean, especially for like beats and stuff where you can just like make them quick.
Yeah.
Like just make bad stuff. Start sucking.
For
soon,
sure.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely making is better than not making if you want to do something.
See.
So
Absolutely. That's such a cool origin story.
yeah.
I love that.
So
Yeah.
who came up with the name Pacifica, which means peaceful in Spanish?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I mean, I heard you guys say it on the recording where you were talking to me about the set, and that's when I learned it.
Oh,
But I didn't know it. But yeah, it's like such a cool word that feels like its own thing.
it's
I don't
a
know.
great word.
It's a
it's
great
my
word.
favorite word.
Inez
I
has
mean-
a Yamaha
Yamaha guitar.
a Yamaha Pacifica.
Yeah,
Yamaha Pacifica.
that's the
Oh.
model. It's a Pacifica,
And-
and that's
Wow.
where the name came
Yeah.
from. And we really liked, in Spanish, the accents. There are rules for like which words you.
Depending on the
Accentuate?
syllables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we call it esdrújula, and those have the accents in like the I fica, you know,
Yeah.
Pacifica.
on the
Right.
third
'Cause it's
syllable
got
counting
four
from the end.
4 syllables and it's on the second syllable.
And I always really love the esdrújulas. They're like my favorite words. And
I wanted it to be like an adjective that was feminine.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted another name that was like
buena.
Buena.
Ah, bueno.
Because
Like
of
the morphine.
buena.
Good girl.
I don't know that.
Du- du-
But
du- 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 du.
who's that?
Morphine.
Okay.
And there was another one that I wanted that it was like, but it was bad.
Oh,
It's
the,
funny, the-
Carpincho one.
Oh, hydrochorus was another.
Hydrochorus, not good.
No, not good at all.
Buena is not
No,
bad.
Pacifica-
Buena, is
Buena could have
really
been
not- yeah.
okay.
Pacifica,
Yeah.
Buena would have been great, but Pacifica had to be born.
It's
So
got
that,
the-
Yeah.
it's-
I just saw
P,
the guitar
P
and I
is
was
so
like,
good.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
what about Pacifica? And she's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a drújula. I was like, it's feminine, it's an adjective.
perfect.
Kind of works. And we had a show like in 2 days, so really didn't have that much time to think about
So we
it.
were like, okay, we can try it.
And our first Instagram story is like, we're Pacifica for now.
now,
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
confident.
No, it's a good
Man.
like. There's a Honda or something. Somebody has a car called
Yeah.
like, the Pacifica. Like it's
There's
a,
like
it's
a car,
word.
There's a beer,
there's a drink.
a
Yeah.
makeup company.
There's a makeup brand that actually they like they steal our thunder a little bit on TikTok because you look up Pacifica and it's like the makeup brand. And we're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I don't want to
it's
see makeup
hard.
hauls.
I knew a girl named Pacifica. I always thought that
Really?
was really pretty. Yeah, she was a grad student in my geography
wow.
class.
That is
And
a
I was like,
pretty
she's so
name.
Gravity
cool, and she
Falls
seemed
character.
calm, and like it was a beautiful name.
Christine brought up the other day. She's like, if we have a daughter, should we name her
I was
Pacifica?
just
Is it weird
hesitant.
now to do?
I was
No,
like,
it's
what do
not
you think
weird.
of this name, Pacifica?
I don't like it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You
Which
don't
is
like
fine.
it?
I mean, it's just.
You're
I
strong
tested
as
it.
hell.
I tested it out. I went Pacifica. God damn it! And it's like, it just doesn't work, you know. It
And then
doesn't flow.
I
about
got
a middle
stressed because I
name?
was like, why is your first instinct to say, God damn it, Pacifica? Like, you
God
could
damn it,
maybe
Pacifica.
like, oh, I love you,
Clean your room.
Pacifica.
So she would probably have a cute nickname like Fifi.
Fifi. Yeah.
Fifi.
I do like the P. You're right, but the F in Pacifica is a nice. I don't know.
It's
There's
cute.
something like really
Fifi.
nice about the F.
I actually wouldn't name a child.
Yeah, me neither.
Pacifica. No.
But it is a
I
cute
agree with
But
name.
you
It's a cute
named
name.
Yeah.
sort of a child.
Yeah, seriously.
A big one.
A big baby. A big
Big
baby.
baby.
He's
Yeah.
like, they're like 3 years old, 2 years old.
Yeah, you've got a
2
toddler
years
on your
old, yeah.
I got
hands.
a toddler. They're
That's
running
so
around,
cool.
you know, they have their own
Yeah.
legs. It's crazy.
It's like it's doing its own thing.
Yeah.
I keep
Yeah, you're
calling
just trying to
things
keep up.
Let me just try and keep running after it, you know. Never know what's gonna happen.
You guys.